that. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be continuing our conversation on cheating. Now, as we discussed, there are so many reasons why people cheat. So for today's episode, I decided to ask, one, why people cheated, and two, how people that were cheated on learned how to trust again. So let's get it going. And I just want to thank all the responders. And please, if you have a topic, put it down right there in the comments. Alrighty, let's go. On these 3 different stories, we are going to learn about 3 different lives. And this is to state, like, hey, there are 2 sides to every story. So let's hear their story. Also, this is my first time reading this as well, so we are going to see this together. All right. So, anonymous number 1 says, I had been through numerous amounts of abuse at 2 exes' hands. One I was with for 2 years and was abused in every single way. And it was that feeling of finally being wanted by someone. The second one didn't physically abuse me, but abused me in most any other way and cheated on me 5 times. Yet again, it was that feeling of someone nice actually wanted me. And then people sub-commented on that saying you don't owe faithfulness to an abuser, wouldn't count as cheating at all. And then this person responds by saying, I'm fortunate enough to be in a healthy relationship now, and I wouldn't dream of cheating. I'm glad they're happy now. Like, honestly, I'm glad they're happy, and I understand the perspective of that feeling. Just feeling like you are significant to someone, just feeling like, okay, not everything I do is bad. Because when someone's at the hand of abuse, everything they do is bad. Them breathing, if they breathe incorrectly, it's bad. It's just, there will be a reason to abuse them in any way, whether that is emotional, whether that is sexual, whether that is physical, whether that is in any other way or form. It's still damaging to the extent of trauma, which initially is abuse. Was together with my ex for a long time. Started dating at 18. First real relationship for the both of us. First few years went fine. Moved in together, everything was rosy and rosy and blank. Then I went to do my military service. Ooh, it's a military story. We had one of these in our first video. Okay, let's see how this goes. Whew. Man, it's always people in the military getting cheated on. Okay. Compulsory for all able-bodied men in my country. Oh. I started noticing how I didn't miss her while being away from home for a few weeks, a month. After my 1 year of service, I went back to work and applied for college. I started noticing how little we had in common and was thinking about ending it. Oh, this was a flip. Gotta love them curveballs. Then she got pregnant. We were surprised the contraceptions didn't work, but we both liked the idea of being parents. So a few years went by, and I found myself in the beginning of my career. Nice, flat, and what most normies like me would consider a dream of sorts. I found myself being utterly miserable and loathing my significant other, consistently rising. But grind your teeth and stay for the kid. Be a man. So, got more and more unhappy, and the only thing I found joy in was being with my daughter, and heavy drinking on any occasion I could. Then I met her at work one day. She was a consultant in my field. absolutely stunning to look at, funny and smart. I fell for her straight away. As we continued to work together, I found myself thinking about her more and more, and we actually got together at a workplace party. Best sex I've ever had. And for the first time in a really long time, I actually felt genuine happiness. Went home to my now ex and left her on the spot. Explained to her how I've been unhappy and how I found someone. She was absolutely livid, understandably. Now, 6 years later, that woman from work is my significant other, and I've never been happier. Not trying to condone or justify unfaithfulness, but sometimes it's right to follow your heart. Wow, okay. Okay, so two completely different worlds. Interesting. Two different perspectives right now. But interesting. I know a lot of times people stay for the kids, and this is what I'm about to say. It's just my opinion, but I feel like it could possibly, again, my opinion, be better to be separated and happy than to be together and miserable, because you want to show your child happiness, not what miserable is. You should want them to know that they deserve to be happy. And yeah, okay, split family. I know we talk about I know people talk about split families being broken families, but I do think people should be in a more stable home, and being two parents being miserable isn't stable. Two parents being happy is stable. Or two parents actually showing, hey, this is what a family should look like. You should never stay in miserable. Never stay in miserable. Always push yourself out of miserable. Okay, let's go to story number 3. Basically, this person, this male who is in a fraternity, just had intercourse with a female that is not his girlfriend. Then it said, woke up next to her, confused, until it all came back to me. Felt bad. Drove halfway across the state and confessed to my girlfriend in person. Was devastated at the time, but I don't regret it one bit. Didn't end on the best note, but me and my ex are still friends. We were high school sweethearts, and I know that we would not have grown into the adults we are today if we had stayed together. We loved each other. Maybe still do a little. But knowing who I am today, we would have ended some other way, and probably in a worse manner. I'd consider myself a good person until that happened. At first, I thought it was meant. I thought it meant I was a bad person, and really be myself about it. As I know now, I'm just human, and humans make mistakes. Sometimes they work out okay, and other times they don't. But one action doesn't define a person. We don't talk anymore. We are both happily married. Interesting. Wow. Hey, it was a happy ending, and honestly, the end note is right. Sometimes you're not supposed to be with who you are, significant otherwise or anything. Sometimes you're just not. And that's okay. That means their purpose has been served. They taught you what they needed to teach you, and now it's both your turns to move on. It's not just your turn. It's time for both of you to move on, because you don't meet that right person or the next phase of your life until you move on. If you're still holding on to that past, like, don't leave, then you're holding yourself back. Ooh, hear that? If you hold on to your past, that's you holding yourself back. And if you do want to continue moving forward, then you have to push yourself. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be uncomfortable, but you have to push yourself. Anyway, point is, things happen. You can either really be upset about it. Actually be upset about it initially. Let your emotions come out, all that stuff, and then use it as a learning tool. Use it as something you can use for the future. Use it as a new weapon of protection. So we saw some ways that people were caught cheating. We heard some stories about why people decided to cheat. Now we are going to see how people learn to trust again after getting cheated on. So I asked the question, dear people that have been cheated on, how did you learn to trust again? And now, again, I will be reading this for the first time with you guys. It is very hard at first, but you have to remember that you can't hold a new person accountable for another person's past actions. If I did something wrong to one person, I would not want someone else to treat me badly because of it. Relationships are built on trust. Make sure you are truly ready to put yourself in a position of vulnerability before you move into a situation where you have to trust someone again. To reiterate, you have to trust them because they have given you no reason for you not to. It may be hard at first, but it gets easier with time. Yeah. Dang, can't hold a new person accountable for bad. That's so true. We are a product of our experiences. We are a product of our history, so 100%. Someone said I haven't, and I asked, what, learn to trust? And they said, yep, doesn't matter how well or how long you know people, they change. So some people don't really ever gain that ability to trust. People do change, they do change, but sometimes people change for the better, and you will change. And sometimes you change with people, and it's a positive outcome. Everyone changes. Everyone will constantly be altering, constantly be shifting. But that does not mean you can't trust them. I haven't yet, so I'm not dating until I'm healthy enough to not bleed all over someone who didn't cut me. Oh, shoot. Dang. Wow. To not bleed over someone who didn't cut me. Her past relationship, she got cut, she got hurt. And now she's bleeding this pain. And to get into a new relationship, it's taking all the so-and-so baggage with her and taking it out on this other person, which is very interesting because it's just correlated with one of the previous ones. Cheating often makes you feel devalued, worthless, because presumably the person you were with was someone you trusted, and it's a huge slap to the face. It's super important to renew your sense of self-worth again and do things to boost yourself back up. Work on some of your hobbies. Be around people who care about you, like your friends or family. This process of learning to trust that you are actually awesome and worthy of a relationship without infidelity also helps to ensure that the next person is a bit worthier. It's about respecting yourself. So don't carry that hurt into the next relationship. So much about carrying things into the next relationship, it really details and is able to illustrate how traumatic getting cheated on is. It's just falling and learning, hey, okay, let me figure out puzzles to my body and to my mind. And it could take time. Plus, unlike actual puzzles, we don't have a general image to look at. It's constantly changing. The previous relationships damaged this person so much that when it comes to romance, they're just numb now. I don't know if this will stay, but it really goes to show you how one person's action has such a damaging or permanent effect on another. It is a domino effect. I hope you all learned something new today and were able to see different scenarios via different perspectives. Thank you to whoever shared. Thank you to all these anonymous people. If you have an opinion, if you have a story, please put it down in the comments. I would love to read it, maybe feature it. If you want to email a suggestion or a story, go for our emails down there. Thank you to everyone that watched. I honestly, truly appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. And please do not forget to, you already know, like, comment, and subscribe, and then little bell. I will see you guys for the next episode.